Hello and welcome to Experience Share. It's a Pokemon podcast starring me, Tanzor.
Bronzor?
Yeah.
Okay.
AKA Tanner Greenring, and I am joined, as always, by my co-host, Miss Magiosh.
Miss Magius?
Miss Magius?
Miss Magius?
I don't know how you would pronounce that. It's a new...
That's a mess.
It's a new evolution of Misdrevius. Misdrevius didn't previously have an evolution, right?
No.
This is a new one?
Yeah.
Still sucks. Still looks like shit.
It looks a little better. I mean, look at what you're working with. Misdrevius is a fucking mess.
It's just such a wreck.
At least Miss Magius is like a witch.
What's the thing in its throat? It's got like a tumor or something. You see that?
A goiter.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little rough.
Ugh, I don't like it.
No, I don't like it either.
I don't like the line. I don't like the line at all, Josh. Welcome to the show.
That's a pass from us.
Josh, welcome to the show, Bug Catchers. This is a Pokemon podcast. Every week we play week by week, gym by gym. Right now we're in season 4, playing Pokemon Platinum, both of us.
Yeah, that's right.
I discovered this week in my research that playing Pokemon Platinum finally has started to pay off in interesting ways.
Yeah.
For instance, Rotom, unavailable in Diamond and Pearl until you get the National Pokédex, but we had a chance to catch Rotom this week.
Yeah. Pretty significant change.
Where was that? Old Chateau?
Yeah, in Old Chateau. There were actually multiple big changes like that, because we get Eevee, which you normally don't get this early.
Yeah.
What's the 5th gym in Diamond and Pearl? Is the 3rd gym for us, Fantina. Our Diamond and Pearlies all faced off against Crasher Wake.
What's he?
Water.
I would have killed to do water this week.
Yeah.
Ghost sucked.
Not getting an easy hand with the gym leaders for your buds.
Just a bunch of normal dudes going up against
the ghosts.
Ghosts? Hell no.
Yeah.
We ended our journey last week in
Eterna City.
Eterna
City.
Facing off against the gym leader there.
Gardenia.
She gave us cut. We can finally get through the little trees. We can finally get into the building at the north of town, which is the Team Galactic building.
Yeah.
To rescue our friend, Mr. Bikeman.
Rad Rickshaw, isn't that his name?
Rad Rickshaw, yeah.
Is that his name, or
It's
that's his
something.
business?
Well, he doesn't sell rickshaws. He
doesn't have rickshaws anyway.
He sells bikes. So, yeah, Rad Rickshaw is his name.
That's a cool name.
That is a cool name.
Bring him along for your road trip.
Oh, he can't.
Rad Rickshaw.
He told me he can't go.
Oh, okay, you asked.
He asked his mom, and his mom said no.
Yeah, you all were looking a little too randy.
God, I would get this tattooed on me. Look at this cool-ass graphic on Rad Rickshaw's Bulbapedia page. There's a graphic from the manga of Rad Rickshaw, I assume Rowan, and I'm guessing that's Dawn?
Yeah.
And they have Clefairies and a Chincho and a Dunsparce. And Rad Rickshaw's in the back just ready to go. Is he a main character in the manga?
That's what this implies in Pokemon Adventures.
It's cool.
This guy's cool. Give him a chance.
He's got 2 Clefairies. Rad Rickshaw owns 2 Clefairy named Cliff and Cliffette. I'm just so interested in the life of Rad Rickshaw. What an interesting character. I want to learn so much more about him.
Why weren't we told more?
Yeah, why do I have to discover this on Bulbapedia?
Rad Rickshaw was robbed.
Bring me into your world.
He's like a footnote in Platinum.
I know.
When his Bulbapedia page makes him look like a chapter.
We went into Team Galactic's building here that they've taken over.
Yeah.
It's sort of like a computer mainframe. They got a lot of servers running.
Yeah, this is a server farm.
I don't think they ever say quite what they're doing here.
We just know that they are hunting for as much energy as possible.
Oh, yeah. They do say why they want it. And once again, I found myself agreeing with the Nemesis.
That it's a good idea.
Because, one of them said something that was we're going to capture all the energy and use it to, end world hunger or something along those lines.
I don't think it's that.
It says here at the top of the Bulbapedia page, Team Galactic is a villainous team in Sinnoh. Unlike previous villainous teams, their goal is not limited to the Pokemon world, but is the recreation of the entire Pokemon universe.
Okay.
That seems ambitious.
Yeah.
And I don't get what the end game is.
So that's why they're scouting out where God and Satan are from.
Right.
Arceus and Giratina.
Make their own God and Satan.
Dialga and...
Anyway, I'm into them. I think they're cool.
You think that's a good idea?
Well, it's like the opposite of Thanos, right? This is the problem with Thanos, is like, instead of snapping your fingers and eliminating half of the resource users, why not snap your fingers and double the resources? And that's what Team Galactic is doing.
Well, when you put it that way...
They're saying, like, here's twice as many resources for all of us to consume. And that's good.
That sounds good, unless it's like for us to consume and not any of you.
Well, someone needs to be the like arbiter. Someone needs to dole this stuff out, you know?
Or you'd just be anarchy.
Right. So it may as well be Team Galactic.
Why not Team Galactic?
Right,
Okay.
exactly.
Well, you convinced me.
Coming around on these guys.
Yeah, maybe Team Galactic's good.
And then once again, there's a boss Galactic here who has a planet name.
Oh, Jupiter. Commander Jupiter.
Previously ran into Mars and Charon.
Yeah.
And now we've got Commander Jupiter. And I can't quite remember what Pokemon she had, but...
It was a disgusting Skuntank and a Zubat.
Right, you texted me a picture of Skuntank.
It's like not neutered, and you can tell.
Josh sent me a picture last week of himself facing off against Jupiter's Skuntank, and it's presenting.
Yeah.
Its genitals, and it's got big pendulous genitals.
Just in the sprite. This isn't even like...
In the sprite?
A Google search. This is just happening in the game.
It's gross.
Yeah.
Why is that allowed?
I don't know.
Like, there's clearly balls in that picture.
Absolutely. I don't see any other way around it.
Ugh. Ugh!
Can you imagine having a Skuntank on your team? Like, how do you live with yourself?
Defeat Team Galactic here, and they fuck off, and the building is empty. And you save Rad Rickshaw, and he heads back to the bike store and says, come on by, I'll give you a bike.
Yeah.
So you do, and you go back to Rad Rickshaw's store. He's got a bike waiting for you. The bikes in this game are rad.
It's right there in the name, yeah.
You no longer have to choose between an acro bike and a mock bike.
Yeah.
Now you've got one bike that does it all.
To rule them all.
And then, confusingly, everyone keeps kind of referring to the gears differently. Like, you talk to someone and he's like, kick it up to third gear to, like, really tear up the road. And then later on, you're going through the routes, like Route 208, and one guy's like, you're going to have to put it in fourth gear to get up that muddy hill.
Right.
And it's like, I only have 2 gears. Slow and fast. Where's third and fourth gear on this thing?
I think I found the third gear because I did manage to get up the, like, mudslide. But
right.
Over on, like, Route 207 or 8, I think, west of Hearthome, that has, like, stones that go way up.
Hearthome.
Hearthome?
Hearthome.
Hearthome?
Hearthome.
I'm not saying... There's no way that that's what it is.
Pronounce this word.
Hearthome?
Herth.
Hearth.
And then pronounce this word. O-M-E.
Hearthome. West of Hearthome City. That sounds right. Yeah, Hearthome.
Yeah, Hearthome.
Hearthome City.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Hearthome.
You're pronouncing the Arboro too much.
Orboro and Hearthome.
Hearthome. Hearthome is where the Hearthome is. I don't know. Hearthome. I lost the train of thought. Anyway, there's a pile of rocks I couldn't figure out how to get up.
You're supposed to smash them with Rock Smash.
No, it's like going up the side of a hill.
Oh, I saw those.
Which implies that you can bounce up it.
You can do the jumpy thing, but I couldn't figure out how to do the jumpy thing.
I can't figure that out.
I don't know if we have access to that yet. We might need
Maybe that's going to be an upgrade.
Team Galactic building done. Bike acquired. Back to Eterna City.
Yeah, now that we have cut, there's a few other areas we can open up.
To the north of Eterna Forest, there was like a little house, and we can get through some trees up there and go inside. And it turns out it's a haunted house.
It's very haunted.
It's full of haunters and ghastlies and shit.
There's also the like ghost butler and a ghost girl.
Yeah.
Who wander around in certain parts, but you can never interact with them.
That's spooky. God, if I was a kid playing that at night, that would freak my bean.
Yeah, it's got spooky music.
Yeah.
I thought Old Chateau is pretty cool. You don't even have to do it, I think.
We talked about this at the beginning, but here's where Platinum kind of diverges, is there's a certain Pokemon you can catch in Old Chateau. I kind of got that the implication was that Old Chateau is not actually haunted, it's just this Pokemon possessing things.
Right.
Because this Pokemon has the ability to possess things. The Pokemon is called Rotom, who's this like little electric guy.
Yeah.
And he can take over electric objects and make them him.
Yeah, and there's like a flickering TV in there.
Yeah. I took a look at Rotom and I was like, dang, this is looking like a buddy. This is looking like a drinking buddy.
Now, he looks like a rascal who would be fun to go out with.
And he's not. He's like a ball Pokemon.
Yeah.
But then he's got like these other things he turns into, like Washing Machine Rotom, who's definitely a bud. He's definitely a drinking buddy.
So, and you recognize that you just described him as a washing machine?
No, I know. He looks like a human and he looks like a washing machine, but he's like a man with feet and arms and no tail.
Well, it's kind of got like a pipe coming out of the back of it, like a tail.
Yeah, that's his genitals.
I mean, honestly, Rotom looks more like a human than a lot of the friends in your road trip. So, like, I don't know.
I didn't catch him.
I guess I buy it.
I didn't catch him. I just killed him because I didn't have a choice, you know?
Yeah, I don't have any. Bree Van Durr doesn't have any clients who are interested in a haunted washing machine.
Electric water is pretty interesting.
Yeah.
These possession forms of Rotom are pretty interesting.
Yeah, it would be fun to run it sometime. I'm sure there are like whole builds people have come up with for this thing.
I don't really know how he works. I didn't catch him. I just went to his Bulbapedia page to see if he was human-like, and because he wasn't, I didn't catch him. But like, how do you transform him into? How do you possess these things?
In this case, actually, the reason why they must have moved it up, because in Team Galactic building in Eterna City, it's got a room with a bunch of appliances that it can inhabit.
To what end?
Rotom's room.
If I want to make him an electric water, can I turn him into Wash Rotom and just keep him like that for the rest of the game?
Oh, yeah.
That's cool.
And then you can just change it by going back to that room.
That's
cool. And there's
cool.
one in like Silph Co and the other games.
I want that.
Well,
how does it not count that he's a man?
Well, because
look at him.
A lot of them are a lawnmower and a fan. Hard to make an argument for those to be people.
You know, but
I think.
What about washing machine?
Yeah. Washing machine is the most human one.
Washing machine Rotom does not have his own page, so I can't get.
You wanted to
He's just counted as Rotom.
Specifically, if that one is a humanoid.
Yeah. He's got levitate. That's a good ability.
Yeah, because then ground moves can't hit it either.
Golly, I wish I could run a Rotom. Is Rotom good?
It's got decent stats.
I think I'm into it. And I know, like, in later games, like, Rotom becomes your, like, assistant, right?
Yeah, your Pokédex is a Rotom in Sword and Shield.
That's cool.
And I hope that's not under duress.
You think they're being forced into the Pokédex?
Well, are they being mass-produced?
Right, and is it a ghost? Like, is that someone's soul?
I think so.
It's so tricky.
I mean, it starts off as Electric Ghost.
Right.
There's a note in here. In Old Chateau, it's all broken up, but I looked it up on Bulbapedia. Bulbapedia heavy episode here.
I was riding that Bulba this week.
I guess this is a Joshy's Fun Facty. So there's a note that apparently says something so peculiar should make off with the motor. So it implies that this ghost was haunting the old chateau, and then it possessed the
gear,
lawnmower or whatever, and then I guess the TV. I don't know why you would end in the TV unless it can watch shows. Maybe that's what it's doing.
It can be in shows.
Yeah,
that's cool.
You also get the old gâteau here, which is gâteau means cake in French. And this was like,
I think it means house in French.
Chateau means house, manor. Gâteau. Did you get this old cake?
Yeah.
That was apparently because, like, the main translator, Nob Gasawara, he had more control over the localization starting in Gen 3. And so he thought it would be funny that it was Old Chateau and then it's got the old gâteau in it.
But it's just a healing thing, right?
Yeah, it restores all of your stats to normal.
But so does full
it's like
heal.
full heal, except it does confusion as well, so it's better.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know how to get more of them.
But there's only one of them. Right.
Where's the recipe?
Probably Rotom brought it to the grave with him. We'll never find it.
Whoops.
So defeat Old Chateau, and now we're back.
Just burn it to the ground.
In Everlife City.
Eternal City.
And we've got a bike. We've got a bike now.
Yeah.
So we can head south to the cycling road, which is mercifully much, much, much shorter than previous cycling roads.
Oh, yeah.
You just kind of zip down it. You run into some bad guys.
It's so straightforward.
There's like an underpath.
Yeah.
Like an underpass, which is like all hikers and grass, and you can go down there if you want.
Isn't that also one of the entrances to the Wayward Cave?
Oh, I don't think I saw an entrance to Wayward Cave down there. But halfway down cycling road, there's like a little outhouse, like a little rest stop. And inside, there's one of Rowan's aides.
Oh, yeah.
And he says, "Welcome. Let me count how many Pokemon you've caught or seen."
Yeah, they changed it to seen, thank God.
I think it was 44.
I think it was 46 for me, but...
He gave me a handy little piece of gear called the Experience Share.
A Pokemon podcast.
It's the name of this Pokemon podcast, yeah.
Great. Love how early you get it now.
Love how early you get it. Love that it's like the good version of Experience Share. It's a held item.
Yeah.
I loved it. I thought, I'm loving everything about this game so far. The cool new bike, the fact that you get Experience Share so early, and then someone pulls you aside and they're like, "Oh, it's Dawn," I think. Like, they stop you and they're like, "Oh, you got the Pokétch, huh?
Yeah.
Let me install an app on it. It's called the Dowsing Machine."
You get the Versus Seeker, too.
Oh, yeah, you get God, what a fucking, like powerful leg of Pokemon this is.
Upgrade.
You get all this shit.
Jesus.
You get Versus Seeker, you get Experience Share, and you get the Dowsing Machine, which is what they call Item Finder now.
Yeah.
It's a Pokétch app, so it lives on your bottom screen, and it's like a little radar. And when you're close to hidden objects, it like blinks and makes sounds at you.
And that's like a huge upgrade from how Item Finder has previously worked.
Powerfully.
Where you had to like assign it to your select button and then like randomly use it, and then it just beeps.
Right.
Now you could just look at the screen and it's just up. This is a huge upgrade.
Huge upgrade. Pokétch Company is rising in my ranks of corporate powerhouses in the Pokeverse.
Yeah. I mean, Versus Seeker, that's always a hit. Rebattle people.
I loved the notepad for dunking on you, but like this Dowsing Machine, Pokétch, you got it.
Yeah.
You know what, Josh? I went to the old Chateau. No one made me put on stupid goggles to see the ghosts.
Yeah.
I could just see them.
Is that the Pokétch Company at work, too?
It never even came up.
Don't you think that they have, like, it's still Devon? Like the Devon scope?
No, I think that's in Pokétch.
They operate in these regions.
I think that's built into the Pokétch.
I thought that was Devon Corp technology.
I think they got an API. I think they got an API in the Pokétch that taps into the Devon Corp tech. And now you can see ghosts. And it's like, you don't even have to worry about it. It's not a conversation. It's not like, oh, you need special goggles to see ghosts.
Yeah.
No, you don't. You can just see ghosts now.
Pokétch is starting to sound pretty innovative.
Number one.
You're putting them at number one now?
Yep.
You're making that call now?
Yep.
I'm still Devon Corp, ride or die.
They made the sneakers.
And they had the scope technology, the superior scope technology that Pokétch is ripping off.
Well, they licensed it.
They make the, like, mass-produced products that, like,
they're the Apple.
Everyone needs.
Yeah.
You know?
Pokétch is like Microsoft, and Devon is like Apple.
I'll take that.
Yeah.
Well, where is this leaving Silph Co? I mean, things are starting to look really bad for Silph Co.
It's like Linux. Anyway, so you get all this gear on your way down. Wayward Cave is pretty annoying. It's like a maze.
Yeah, and you have to use Flash in it.
But they do the thing this game too, where it's like, technically, you could probably get by without using Flash, right?
Yeah, it's got a little ring of light.
Right. But I did teach Flash to a trash Pokemon.
Taught it to my Cricketune, my HM friend, Jiminy.
I think I taught it to Cricketot. Whoever it is, they're in a box now.
Flash is got a downgrade to a TM in this one, but
good.
Yeah, who gives a shit? It shouldn't be an HM.
I'm glad.
It shouldn't even be a TM, as far as I'm concerned. Where's the Pokétch app for a flashlight?
The flashlight? Yeah, I've got a fucking iPhone. It's got a flash.
How about that?
I've had an iPhone for 10 years, and every single version of it has had a flashlight on it. So get on it, Pokétch.
Yeah, so I would say that's something they really need to get on.
So then Wayward Cave is pretty uneventful. There's not a lot to
yeah,
do in here.
It's at least not like, a rock tunnel where you have to deal with it. Like, you don't have to go through it if you don't want to.
And then once we're out, we're kind of on our way to the real heart of this leg. You get it?
Yeah.
Hearthome City.
Oh, yeah.
Well, not really. We're in Route 207.
It's like the outskirts. But there's really only one thing here, and it's the Berry Master.
No, the Berry Master. Did you talk to the Berry Master?
Yeah, he gave me a free berry.
I would love to hear about what he gave you, Josh.
I mean...
After this break. Welcome back, bug catchers. Welcome back, Josh.
Welcome back
to Experience Your Pokemon Podcast.
Hello.
When you last heard us, we were exiting Wayward Cave. We are on Route 207. You go south through 207, and there's a little gully that you go down, and it turns out that gully takes you to the north side of Orboro, which you can now access via the bike.
That's right.
And the muddy paths. And then if you go east from there, you take a little tiny dip into Mount Coronet.
Just get your feet wet.
Which I'm to understand is a much bigger set piece in this game, but you're just going through one quick level.
Yeah.
Of Mount Coronet.
Mount Coronet is like the climax.
And then once you're through there, you're on the other side. I think it's Route 208 or 9. I don't remember.
208? Yeah.
Who knows, Josh? It's all typical Pokemon stuff. It's all grassy fields with wild Pokemon and trainers.
And the Berry Master.
You remember that Skittles commercial?
I don't know. No, I guess not.
Berries and cream, berries and cream. I'm a little lad who loves berries and cream. Do you remember that one?
I do remember the berries and cream Skittles now, and those were delicious.
I'm going to make you watch it on mic, okay?
Okay.
You tried these berries and cream Starburst?
Pardon me, what kind of Starburst did you just say?
Oh, Starburst.
Berries
and berries. Berries and what else?
And cream.
This is the Berry Master.
Berries and cream! Oh, hurrah! Berries and cream, berries and cream. I'm a little lad who loves berries and cream.
I'm a little lad who loves berries and cream.
Berries and cream. Oh, I'm a little lad who loves berries and cream.
Wow. This is great.
What do you think?
I like that someone just uploaded this on August 31st, 2020.
I know. Click more details. They got like the full fucking credits.
This is like someone who's like really entering a new dark stage of derangement in the pandemic.
It's probably somebody who lost their job and they're just trying to be like, I made this commercial.
In Focus is a curated spotlight series of our favorite commercials. They got the credits here. The star is Jack Fervor.
Is
Jack Fervor the Berry Master?
Yeah. Killing it, Jack.
Oh, that was a great ad. Well, this is a nice.
Ads used to be so much better.
Early 2000s.
Ads used to really mean something, huh?
You used to enjoy watching them.
Go to jackfervor.com. He's like a real serious dude. He's like a dancer.
Well,
New York-based writer, choreographer, and dancer. His genre-defying performances have been called so extreme that they sometimes look and feel like exorcisms.
Yikes.
The New Yorker said that. This is the berries and cream guy.
Wow.
I want to see this dude act somewhere.
I mean, from what I understand, he's just a powerhouse.
I'm intrigued.
The Berry Master.
I can see his butt in this one picture.
Great.
Hell of a butt, Jack Fervor. Anyway, that's the berries and cream commercial.
Wow.
I think it was like 2004, maybe 2005.
He was on Strangers with Candy.
Really? Should we have him on the show?
I guess he must have used his Starburst berries and cream ad as one of his audition tapes because he was like, oh, Strangers with Candy. I have candy.
I'm going to follow him on Instagram, and if he follows me back, I'm going to send him a message and be like, will you come on our Pokemon podcast?
Okay.
I think we should have him on. Anyway, this is now a Jack Fervor. This is a Jack Fervor fan podcast now.
Yeah. We'll run out of Pokemon games, so it's a good thing we have a backup.
It's the berries and cream guy from that commercial ages ago, but apparently he's a very esteemed choreographer in New York and an actor.
And berries and cream were my favorite Starburst, I think.
Are they still available?
I don't know. I was just looking into that, too.
I bet you can get some on like the black market.
They were the best combo.
I don't know that I ever had them, to be honest.
Like it's a little tart, it's a little sweet.
Sounds gross.
And it's all smooth.
Creamy?
Starburst.
Not looking
Berries
for
and cream.
creamy. I'm not looking for creamy when I eat a Starburst.
Who loves berries and cream? I do. Josh does.
You're the berry boy. And that's what you did when you went and visited the berry master.
I did a little dance, and I asked for my berries, please. Mm-hmm. Give me my berries, please, master.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, you get a berry. He gives you weird berries.
Yeah, and you get another fucking app in here.
Yeah.
You get a berry searcher app. That's also great. Main reason I don't even plant them is because I don't want to remember where they are. And berry searcher app tells you where they are.
I only plant 2 kinds of berries, the one that cures poison and the one that cures confusion.
Yeah, the confusion one. What is that? Persim, I think?
I think confusion is Persim. I think
that's the best one.
Pekka is poison.
Yeah, those are definitely the best, like, non-exotic ones. They start getting very obscure.
Those are the only ones I ever plant.
Yeah. I mean, Orin's a joke. 10 hit points.
Yeah, right. Although, I gotta say, there was a lot of Pokemon we faced off against this week that had, like, maybe the Sirius Berry or something like that.
Citrus, the 30 HP one.
Which, like, that kind of,
That's
like...
good.
That'll sting you.
Yeah.
When you think you're winning a battle...
They pop one of those.
You're, like, eking out the opponent, and then you get them into the yellow, and then all of a sudden they recover, like, a third of their health.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck?
I'd love to get my paws on some citrus berries. I'd plant those.
I wandered around here. I did some leveling. I caught some Pokemon, which we will talk about. Well, we can talk about it right now if you want. I don't give a shit.
I caught nothing in this whole area. None of the Pokemon on this leg so far have met Bree Van Durr aspiring to be the greatest Pokemon breeder in the world standards.
I met up with some buds.
It's a pile of Bibarels and fucking Zubats.
I met up with some buds on this journey. Do you want to hear about them? Should we just do it now? Why the hell not?
Okay.
Let's level check.
All right. Well, you can start it if you're so anxious to do your level check.
Sure. I went through Mount Coronet, which I think is where I caught a number of these people, but also someone...
Caught these people?
Sorry, met up with my buds.
They were waiting for you in a deep, dark cave.
I can't quite remember where it happens, but at some point in Eterna City, someone gives you an egg.
Yeah, someone...
They say, please have this egg.
Someone gives you an egg. It's classic.
Literally wandering around the city, and someone, like your screen freezes, and someone walks from off screen. They're like, hey.
They just run up to you and tell you your life story, because that's what they do in Sinnoh.
Please have this egg.
Yeah.
And I kept it in my inventory, because I was like, all right, why not? Maybe this will be something kind of interesting.
Yeah, I did too.
And it turns out it was something kind of interesting. A man. A human man.
That hatched from an egg?
That hatched from an egg, and his name was Togepi.
Oh my god.
Well, sorry. He's called Togepi. His name is Mr. Daniel.
Okay.
And he's named after @Morganite on Twitter. Thank you, Morganite, for...
@Morganite149.
Sharing your likeness with my Togepi.
Yeah.
New drinking buddy on the team, Togepi. He's cool. He's level 25.
Togepi seems a little young to be drinking, but...
He's got some cool, like... synergy moves. Like I don't know if I'm starting to see through the matrix on these games and like starting to see the move sets, you know?
Hope so. It's only
like
taken hundreds of hours of tape and games.
I noticed both Machop and Togepi had these kind of beautiful moves that would work well together in like interesting ways. And like Machop's, I remember very clearly, it's like one thing raises critical, like
focus energy
raises critical, and something else like has a high crit percentage and like all this other kind of stuff.
Karate chop.
I wish I had my Game Boy on me because I could say what Togepi's like fun moves are.
You know, you could just Google Togepi Learn Set Gen 4 and then go to Pokemon DB. It's the first result. That's how you find out what they do.
One could do that.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can remember. So Encore... I was excited about Encore because I was like, that's going to drive Josh nuts.
It makes you just keep using the same move.
Yeah.
It could also be Follow Me, I think is kind of interesting because of the double battles in this.
Follow Me, double battles.
Where all the attacks are directed at it, although Togepi is not super buff. Eventually, Togetic and...
Oh, thank God, Togetic is human.
Yeah, I can see that one. Togekiss, I don't think so.
No, Togekiss is not. Togekiss is winged. But yeah, he learned some cool moves, and there was some like fun synergy that I started to recognize. So we might not need that matchup mayhem music after all. I think I'm starting to figure this shit out.
Okay. I'm not gonna box it quite yet.
I wouldn't ask for a refund or anything.
We are only an episode out from when you thought rock was super effective on grass, so.
Yeah.
So
anyway, I got a Togepi, Mr. Daniel, level 25.
Yeah.
I also, in Mount Coronet, ran into my buddy, Mr. Aviles, which is Chingling.
Okay.
And it's named after at @maviles_ on Twitter, Mari Aviles. Chingling is an interesting guy.
Chingling, I didn't know that this was a Pokemon. I'm gonna be honest.
It's a man. It's not a Pokemon. It's a man.
Yeah, that's why I didn't know. I've never seen it in the Pokédex because it's a man.
Looks like a bell.
Chingling is a man. Looks like a big bell.
Looks like a bell
with a couple of nubby little feet.
Yeah, and when it opens its mouth, it's got a little ringer, like a bell.
Like a bell.
But it's not a bell. It's a man.
And its name sounds like a bell sound.
It's a man, and I caught it.
Okay.
And it's psychic type, but it learns some ghost moves, which I thought would be useful for the ghost gym that we're going into this week. So I caught it. Invited it on my epic road trip across Sinnoh. My guy's called Steve Human.
Yeah.
My guy's called Steve Human, and he's on an epic road trip across Sinnoh, and he's picking up drinking buddies along the way, and we're getting into some mischief. And Chingling, Mr. Aviles, is my latest buddy who I met up with.
Right.
Also in Mount Coronet, I ran into my friend Mr. Jorgensen.
Okay.
Stefan Jorgensen, named after @StefanNJ on Twitter.
Our Norwegian friend.
Our Norwegian friend who once taught us how to pronounce our own last names.
Yeah. Classic vid.
And that's my Metatite, level 26.
Okay.
Did I say Chingling's level? Level 23.
I don't know.
And then it's all old favorites. Mr. Overhill's my Machop, level 26. Mr. Schilling is my Graveler, level 28.
Jesus.
Ms. Applebaum.
Still there.
And Ms. Applebaum is Badu, level 29.
No evolution yet for Rosalia?
Nah, no evolutions for any of these guys.
That's rough.
Yeah.
Chingling, you can't get Chimecho.
I'm not going to get Chimecho.
Because that's definitely not a man.
Metatite could evolve into Metacham. And then Machop, I guess I can see through to Machoke eventually and Machamp, but like...
It's like old hat.
I don't know if I want to run a Machamp again. We've done it so many times.
I'm so sick of them.
I'm not even sure about Golem. Do I want Mr. Schilling to get up to a Golem? I don't know. You've run a Golem before. It was cool, but like... It's been done.
The Golem was surprisingly good.
I told you this. This next leg is going to open up a lot of human drinking buddies for Steve Human.
Yeah.
There might be some new buds we're going to interact with.
Yeah.
It might be a whole new team by this time next week.
Exciting.
What about Bree?
Maybe next leg you'll see something, but at the moment you're going to see largely the same team.
Yeah.
Bree Vander spends a lot of time raising her Pokemon so that they reach the high level of battle-worn yet properly groomed that she requires. Mm-hmm. So she can only capture Pokemon that rich people would want as an exotic pet.
She raises sexy Pokemon.
Yeah, they're sexy.
Yeah, some of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Simba, speaking of, Luxio, level 25 now.
Mm-hmm.
And then Bonzo, Monferno, still level 25.
Okay.
And then Silver, Staravia, 26.
Mm-hmm.
Scrooge, McPsyduck, level 27.
Did you say McPsyduck?
Yeah, McPsyduck.
Yeah.
I'm Psyduck.
Yeah.
And Lola Bunny, still here. Bunnery, level 20.
Notice you're not putting a lot of levels into Bunnery. What are you afraid of?
I actually was hoping that I would make more progress there, but most of the trainers to fight were all rock or fighting or ghost.
Yeah.
And all of that is nothing that Bunnery can work with.
Right.
She actually died a couple of times, so I think...
What are you afraid of, coward?
I think that I actually took some hits on the friendship.
Evolve Bunnery and let me see it.
Listen, I'm trying to get the evolved form of Bunnery because Bree Vander won't let her clients down. But not a good leg for that. Maybe the next leg we'll see a little bit more progress there. We do have a new... someone new has entered the menagerie, though. Bree is going to has quite a scheme for this last one. Duchess, the Eevee, level 20.
Okay.
Duchess is so named because Eevee and its evolutions can either be interpreted as cats or dogs, and foxes occasionally.
I would say a fox.
I read that Motofumi Fujiwara, who was a game designer since Red and Blue and worked on Diamond and Pearl and Platinum as well, in 2018 said that Eevee was inspired by vague childhood memories of an unknown creature he encountered in the forest.
Squirrel.
Though it wasn't based on any distinct animal, Fujiwara mentioned that Eevee reminded him of a fluffy cat or dog-like creature.
Huh.
So we're not getting to any conclusions here. However, Duchess is named after the lead Aristocat in the Aristocats because the Eevee is going to be the mother of many beautiful cats and dogs.
You said this at
what
the
have you.
You said this at the top of the episode before we started recording. You said that you were essentially going to send Eevee to a breeding farm.
Oh, yeah.
To live a life of solitude and slavery where she's just pumping out babies.
Well, she's going to be well taken care of. At the daycare center in Solaceon has excellent facilities.
So let me ask you how this works. The breeding center.
It's just the daycare center.
If you drop an Eevee off there, you can just make more Eevees?
No, I have to breed the Eevee with other Pokemon from its egg group. Similar to like how your egg group is like the humanoids or whatever.
Right, yeah.
I have to look for field type egg group.
Okay.
Which I already have some of them. Like it includes Luxio, for example.
So if you breed an Eevee and a Luxio, there's a chance that another Eevee will pop out of that?
Yeah, if they're compatible, then you get more Eevees.
You can go for all Eevees if you wanted.
Yeah.
Huh. That's interesting.
There will be some Eevees that she will be raising. That's for sure. How many? I'm not sure.
Starting to plan future Pokemon trainers. One of them is called Stevie.
Yeah.
And all he has is Eevees.
Yeah, I thought about doing an Eevee, just naming the trainer Eevee also.
Yeah.
EVIE.
That's cool.
But I just think it's so involved. And we've run recently an Espeon, an Umbreon, and a Jolteon because of Pokemon Colosseum and Gale of Darkness. So I don't know if I'm gonna go that far, but there's definitely gonna be at least one, if not more, Eeveelutions in my team. Because we got Leafeon and we got Glaceon now.
Yeah.
And I want to see those in action.
I like that little fairy Eevee that comes eventually. When is fairy Eevee?
Yeah, it's fairy type, which is introduced in Gen 6.
Maybe Stevie will make an appearance during whatever gen that is. That's your team, Bree Van Dur's team. That's Steve Human's team.
Not super exciting yet.
But now we're headed into Hearthome City. Hearthome City is a big city, and there's a lot going on here, and there's a lot of big buildings.
It's a bustling city. Somebody in the town told me that it's rated Sinnoh's #1 place to live by Town and Sinnoh magazine.
That stuff always feels pretty loaded to me. #1 place to live.
It seems pretty biased.
Feels loaded, doesn't it?
What are the fucking like categories?
Yeah.
There's no way it's #1 for everyone.
Right.
It is #1 for BB, who's the first person I encountered at least.
Yeah, you go into BB's house.
She lives next to the Pokemon Center. And that's where Bree Van Dur got her Eevee, which is also Joshy's sweetie. Feel like we kind of already covered it, but I didn't think Eevee's made it onto the list before, and Eevee's going to play a prominent role in this game. And also, there just wasn't a lot of shit for Bree Van Dur to work with on this leg. Ugly.
You just said last week, like, you're going to have such a hard time finding You Make Me Barf Pokemon this gen. All the Pokemon are so beautiful. Can I admit something to you?
Yeah.
When BB offered me an Eevee, BB Eevee, is that a thing?
Well, maybe. BB Eevee.
I genuinely went to Bulbapedia and looked it up, and I was like, are any of the Eevee evolutions human?
How? You know that they all have 4 legs. You thought there was secretly an Eeveelution that has 2 legs?
One of them is bipedal and it's fleshy.
They all have tails too.
It's called like Manion. And he has like
it's like
he's
a
bipedal and covered in flesh and has dread, you know?
Oh.
Can experience dread. So no, it turns out none of the Eevee evolutions are human, so I did not accept the Eevee.
You let her keep it.
Yep.
Keep that baby Eevee, BB.
I moved on, Josh, to Amity Square.
I'm curious for Steve Human's thoughts about Amity Square. Were you even allowed in there?
They were like, sir, you can't wear a tank top in here.
It's sort of a sophisticated promenade.
And I was like, oh, I thought this was America. I thought this was Sinnoh. And, like, saw myself out. No, I didn't do much in Amity Square.
Amity Square's thing is it's like a gated park.
Yeah.
And you can only bring out Pokemon that they think are cute and, like, dignified.
Right.
So this was Bree Van Durr's she went hog wild in here.
Yeah.
Strolling with Bunnery, got some weird comments about that one. And then Psyduck, Monferno, everybody. They picked up items. We had a nice walk. It was beautiful.
Yeah, I think the only eligible Pokemon I had on my team at that time was Piplup, who is still my HM friend.
Oh, but you can't take Mr. Hilliard into a venue like that.
Not Mr. Hilliard? Hell no.
Oh.
We're going to get kicked out of that place.
Add it to the list.
Yeah. Yeah, they're very selective with the Pokemon they'll invite in there.
It's like a cool park, and you just get a bunch of items.
Yeah, you just get a bunch of items, which are, like, cool and unique and, like...
Yeah, and a lot of them are accessories for
they're fashion items.
Contests.
Well, and speaking of contests, the big contest hall is in Hearthome.
Yeah.
And if you try to go to the gym, as I did, you were told that you can't because Fantina isn't at the gym. She's at the contest hall. So you head over there, you hear about the Poffins. They're like, you got any Poffins? Like, no. What does that mean?
God, it's basically berry mixing, which we learned about in Hoenn, right? But for some reason, it's Poffins now.
Now it's Poffins. And it sounds like drugs.
Poffin House sounds shady.
Yeah. So you go into the Pokemon Contest Center. Sure enough, Fantina is there, and you interact with her, and she's like, I hope you enjoy the contests, and then leaves.
She's hanging out with your mom.
What is this? And then you can do a contest.
It's got visual contests, acting contests, which is the move one, and then dance contests, which is Dance Dance Revolution.
Yeah.
I failed at all three.
The visual contest is you have to accessorize your Pokemon with all these accessories that you're picking up. And then that will be judged by, like, cuteness or coolness or toughness or whatever.
Yeah.
Acting is sort of like what happened in Gen 3, where it's like you have to pick moves.
Yeah.
And then the last one is button pushing.
Right.
It still sucks.
Yeah.
It's still totally impenetrable. It's still completely confusing to figure out. It's not fun. It's not interesting.
Yeah.
I'm never doing it again.
I'm going to give it more of a try than I normally would because Bree Van Durr is interested in the contests, but I think my problem too is that the prizes you get are self-serving. Like, even if you're the the Grand Master, like, contest winner, all that you get are, like, more accessories.
Right.
You don't get a Master Ball or something.
Right.
They're just more things that you use in the contests themselves.
Well, you could get some Poffins.
And Poffins. Yeah, which improve your, like, fur on the coat on your Pokemon. Or, like,
they
sheen.
up your stats. Like, if you do a spicy Poffin mix, it ups your coolness factor. So you can, like, win the cool contest. I don't know. It sucks. It still sucks.
Not compelling enough.
Yeah.
Nah.
The other big landmark here is the cathedral.
The church.
Which I looked up.
There's inexplicably a church.
There's, like, a Gothic church here, and you go inside, and it's like everyone is literally talking about, like, God.
God, it's so morbid.
It's weird.
People are like, all I know are either joy or sadness, and there's nothing in between.
They're all just, like, in some kind of existential crisis.
And someone's, like, crying about his dad who's died, and, like, yeah, it's a crisis.
They're all nihilists.
It's an existential crisis in this church.
I looked it up
it's never explained.
No,
it doesn't have a sign.
Nothing happens in there.
There's no items. There's no side quest. There's just a fucking church here.
I looked it up on Bulbapedia. It's not referred to as a church or a cathedral. It's referred to as the foreign building.
What?
And what does that mean?
What does that mean?
Like foreign?
What do you mean
it's
the
like
foreign building
from some other like universe? What does that mean, foreign building?
No one ever says why it's called this.
It's so weird. It's just like, it's so confusing.
I mean, it's got stained glass. It literally just looks like a cathedral, and then they're calling it a foreign building.
Foreign building.
Respectfully, no music can be heard in it. Wow. Okay.
That's true. There is no music being played inside.
I guess it fits with the Sinnoh being the land of myths thing. Maybe that's why they did it.
The last main landmark here is Hearthome Gym, home of Fantina.
Who's back?
Who's back, baby? The gimmick here is it's dark. It's a ghost type gym where there's little symbol plates on the ground and you've got a flashlight and you need to use your flashlight to illuminate it so you can see which door to go through. And if you go through the wrong door, you get kicked back to the beginning. If you go through the right door with the right symbol, you advance on. And there are ghost type trainers throughout.
Yeah. And that was another change. They updated that for Platinum. I guess in Diamond and Pearl, when you hit it as the 5th gym, it's just one of those standard, like, you answer some questions.
Oh, really? I thought the gimmick was pretty cool, the flashlight gimmick.
Yeah, it reminded me of, like, a Mario Party, like, mini game where you're trying to, like, use the flashlight to find the boo.
Yeah. I kind of wish, like, that is what Flash was. Like, Flash sucks, and the Dark Caves
would
suck.
be cool.
But, like, what if
That'd
it's,
be
like,
fun.
a flashlight, and, like, everything is sort of semi-transparent, and, like, the random battles are, like, you accidentally shining your flashlight on wild Pokemon or trainers.
That would be much more realistic,
Why not just do that? You've already got the mechanics. You've already built it out for this gym.
Flashlights are canon, so why not just bring that into a cave?
Yeah, bring it on. Okay.
That's a freebie, Pokémon Company.
Make your way through. I struggled. Not going to lie. Didn't have anything that was super well equipped for Ghost.
This one's tough.
One of these fucking Pokemon had like Shadow Ball, and Shadow Ball would just kill all my Pokemon in one hit.
Yeah, Miss Magus had it.
I
mean, Duskull, I think. A lot of them did.
It killed Meditite in one hit.
Shadow Ball was devastating.
Like, it killed Graveler in one hit oftentimes.
Yeah.
God, it sucked.
This one was hard.
Killed Machop in one hit.
I had to go back and heal a couple of times.
Yeah, it was tough, but I eventually got through it because I just had to fucking grind. I just went out and used the Versus Seeker and started grinding and training, and eventually beat the gym.
You did have higher levels, yeah.
Can we talk about the gym trainer, Fantina?
Yeah, this French woman.
She's French.
She's like Eurotrash.
She reads as French. Yeah, she talks about like being from elsewhere and has like a French accent.
And she's very into fashion and like
she dresses like a Drifloon. You notice that?
I guess that's true.
She's wearing a purple dress with like a little yellow X on it.
Can I just say, so many fucking Driflooms in this section. I hate that thing.
So many Drifloons, and let's talk about Drifloon. It's my You Make Me Barf Pokemon of the week.
Okay, and does that make Fantina an You Make Me Barf also?
Yeah, I think it's gross that she dresses like a Drifloon.
I didn't like her attitude either.
There's nothing specifically wrong with Drifloon visually. It's a balloon.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But there is something specifically wrong with Drifloon's Pokédex description.
Okay.
Do you want me to read it to you?
Go on. Yeah.
Let me pull it up.
It's confusing that it has like hearts dangling from it and it's a ghost.
Yeah.
Flying.
Yeah, there's a lot
It's confusing. I think it's just very confusing.
There's a lot that's confusing about it. Here are the Pokédex descriptions for Drifloon.
Okay.
Diamond. A Pokemon formed by the spirits of people and Pokemon. It loves damp, humid seasons.
Okay.
Pearl.
Why is that thrown on?
It tugs on the hands of children to steal them away. However, it gets pulled around instead. Platinum. Because of the way it floats aimlessly, an old folktale calls it a signpost for wandering spirits.
Okay.
It's fucked up, right?
Yeah.
But let me tell you about two moves it knows.
None of those sound good. None of those sound good.
Let me tell you about two moves it knows.
Okay.
That it released on me. The first was called Swallow. Yuck.
Right. Okay.
The second was called Spit Up. Yuck. What are we doing here, Pokemon?
That is disgusting.
What are we doing here, the Pokemon Company? Why did you give this balloon two moves called Swallow and Spit Up? The second I saw those, I was like, what?
That's disgusting.
It's so gross.
Yeah.
Why does it know those moves?
How is it swallowing all of these things, spitting things
It
up?
doesn't have a mouth.
Stockpiling? What? It doesn't have any space to stockpile.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Swallow heals it.
Yeah, and then Spit Up spits it out and does damage.
And they both work off stockpile. So like it can sit and do stockpiles, which increases the like potency of its other moves. So it can like sit and do stockpile for 4 turns, which also increases its special defense.
That's super obnoxious.
And then it can like release a Swallow, which does extra healing, or a Spit Up, which does extra damage depending on the number of stockpiles it's done. So
right,
that's kind of cool. I like that little bit of metagaming happening there, but I hate that the moves are called Swallow and Spit Up.
And it's obnoxious to like deal with it while it's doing that. It's just like swallowing constantly, and then you're just sitting there.
So gross. What a gross Pokemon. I hated Drifloon. It's my You Make Me Barf Pokemon of the week.
It would make a good drinking buddy, though. Too bad it's not a human.
Well, no, it's not a human. It's a balloon.
But it's made of souls of humans,
That's
seemingly.
True. But it's not bipedal. So
Fantina may think that she has good taste in clothes, but she does not have good taste in Pokemon.
She's got a Drifloon.
Her minions had the Drifloons. She just has a Duskull.
Oh yeah,
a Haunter and a Miss Magius.
Yeah.
Miss Magius.
But she's dressed like a Drifloon. You have to admit she's dressed like a Drifloon.
Yeah, she's a big Drifloon fan.
The little yellow X that's like holding up her dress is definitely a Drifloon thing.
Yeah.
And her little like buns that look like balloons.
And she doesn't have one for some reason.
But she doesn't have one. You know why? Too gross.
She's like, I'm the Drifloon.
Ugh, I'm just now remembering Duskulls. Will-O-Wisp is such an annoying move.
Yeah.
Because, like, it burns you no matter what, even if you're, like, a Graveler.
Yeah.
It's like, how are you burning a rock?
I got lucky with that one. I didn't know who was going to come up first, and I had Psyduck up front because I was hoping she would have, like, the Haunter, and then it would be super effective with Confusion.
Yeah.
But it was Duskull, and then it used Will-O-Wisp, but it missed, and then I used Disable on that fucking crap. But I had significant losses here.
She's tough.
I got like Haunter down, but Confusion didn't one-hit KO it.
Haunter's also got Hypnosis, which sucks. Puts you to sleep. All 3 of her Pokemon are Levitate, so like you can't even do ground moves on them because I still have Graveler.
Right.
But like none of that shit's effective. Although Rollout still works.
Yeah, that would be decent actually.
But then Shadow Ball, the Miss.
I think Haunter has Shadow Claw too, and that killed
Magius's Shadow Ball. Just like
Luxio
destroyed me.
Yeah, that was a one. It was a fucking one-hit KO on my Monferno somehow.
Shadow Ball is like a impossible to understand move.
Well, it's great. I mean, it's like the best Ghost move, I think.
Beat Fantina, get the Relic Badge.
Yeah, we can use Defog, which we don't have yet. And then TM65 Shadow Claw.
Right.
Pretty good.
So, Fantina's defeated. This leg of the journey is defeated. That is our episode this week, Bug Catchers.
That's it.
Picked up a few new buds on my epic road trip across Sinnoh.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like you got some. You didn't get any exotic new pets this week. But
I got one.
You got one, and she's a sweetie.
One that will become Mini.
Living up to your name.
Yeah.
Bree Durr.
In this next leg, I believe we will unlock the breeding aspect of Bree and Durr.
Looking forward to it, Josh. I wouldn't mind breeding with
Bunnery.
Wait, isn't Bunnery the not how one?
You want Lopunny.
Lopunny. Anyway, that's been Experience Share Pokemon Podcast. My name, as always, has been Tanzor, aka Tanner Greenring, and I'm joined, as always, by my co-host, Miss Magiosh, aka Joshua Fielstead. Please do rate and review the show on Apple Podcasts. It really does help us rise through the rankings and become the most powerful Pokemon podcast.
The very best.
On Apple Music.
Like no cast ever was.
Or Apple Podcasts, rather. And then please do
Stitcher and
follow the show on all the stuff that you followed on.
Fucking all of them.
Stitcher, Overcast, all that kind of junk.
And then if you do the social media and or you want to try to get in Steve Human's ragtag crew.
Yeah, still plenty of open slots. Although I will say this gimmick is proving quite popular. And a lot of people have reached out.
We got a long list.
Let me be on Steve's team. So I've started to, you will get a DM from me and I will ask you if I can use your name and what your name is. If I've selected you, if I haven't selected you, it's not because I don't like you. It's just because like a lot of people have tweeted about the show, but there's still a chance. So please keep doing tweets about it.
And that's at EXPSharePod on Twitter. And then Instagram is also at EXPSharePod.
You can talk about us on Instagram too.
Yeah.
That's fair game.
And it's organic promotion.
Yeah, so all you people who are like, I'm only tweeting about this so Tanner will name a Pokemon after me. Guess what? DQ'd.
That doesn't count.
DQ'd. You're on the shit list.
Well, we love all of our fans.
Well, we do love all of you.
And then check out the subreddit, reddit.com/bugcatchers, where our moderator, Mike Levine, friend of the pod, friend of real life friend, is doing a little bit of a like bracket.
Yeah.
We have lots of people playing along with us, and there's level checks for the community. There's trainers of the week, and we go in there occasionally. I post show notes.
I don't.
I go in there.
Merch is on the way. We've got some beautiful designs from Bugcatcher John and Bugcatcher Matthew, but we just need to get our shit together.
Yeah, I think we just have to get our shit together.
So keep an eye out for that. In the meantime, thank you for joining us, Bugcatchers. Thank you for joining me, Josh. I will see you next week where we are headed to Veilstone City, and we will be joined by a special guest.
Oh, yeah.
The infamous Gringus D returns. David Sims will be joining us next week.
Yeah.
We've got a few other guests planned this season, too, so get amped. Some returning favorites, some newbies who we think you guys will love. So
and we will be battling, although we've decided, because the results did end up favoring random battles.
Yes.
We did flip a coin, but we got tails, so we didn't battle.
But we decided that we are going to do a hybrid where during Gym 4, the midpoint, and Gym 8, the end of the game, we will...
And whenever we have guests, too.
...battle.
In general.
And we will set a level cap for those. So next week, it'll be a level 32 level cap headed into Veilstone City in our battle with Gringus D.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it'll just be a coin flip and capless.
Chaos.
Let's all ride the derecho.
Chaos.
Yeah. Thank you for joining me, Josh. Thank you for joining me, Bugcatchers. I will see you next week. Goodbye.
Smell you later.